always said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to Reynolds Razorback Stadium, home of the Arkansas Razorbacks. As we'll see a squad from the Big 12, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, taking on a team from the SEC, the Arkansas Razorbacks. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. The Razorbacks will kick it away to start. And he takes this from inside the 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The Red Raiders offense will start this game off. They are going to be greeted rather rudely, I guess, by a group of defensive linemen that wreak havoc and hunt down quarterbacks, Jesse.
And they wreck games. They take away everything you do offensively. So it's a huge challenge in this one, David, for this offensive coordinator to try to call plays and find ways to get the football away from these big fellas up front because they take games over.
And get the ball out quick. Like when you've got a defensive line that can penetrate, they can get TFLs, get sacks, it's going to be on this offensive line to buy a little bit of time, but also the ball to come out quick, win in the secondary right now.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Lining up from the 34 on first down. They go to the ground. Fights off a defender. Only a short gain on that run. Defense played it well. The Red Raiders racing to the line in the hurry-up.
And that wasn't a big gain, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Quick strike complete. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. Complete to the right. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, but they've got it 1st and goal. And the Red Raiders, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Touchdown, Red Raiders! Quick strike through the air for the score. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And the score comes on a 5-yard touchdown pass. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Arkansas's offense has the ball for the first time. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game, maybe see some new schemes in the passing game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
And here's a fumble way behind the line. Oh, the offense fortunate to fall on that one, and they'll live to fight another play.
Man, those are so frustrating when you're a defense and you swarm to the football and you stick the quarterback and you make him cough it up just to have the other team recover it again and you don't get it. Still a good stick, still a good physical play. Keep hitting that quarterback.
And the Razorbacks line up to punt it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He's got it. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. He'll step out of bounds just short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49 after a good pickup on that play.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. See what they dial up on 1st and 10. He'll do it himself. Brought down, but not before he bowled his way inside the 10 to the 8. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Now the play fake. Lets it fly. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Quick strike through the air for the score. I don't know exactly what the defensive coverage was, but it certainly wasn't part of the plan to leave him that wide open.
Well, I don't think they know what their defensive coverage was either. How do you leave that big guy open down here in the red zone? You know the quarterback loves the big tight ends in this area. Really poor job by the defense.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They've gotten off to a sluggish start and need to put something together on this drive. Working the middle, it's complete.
I'll tell you, man, I love quarterbacks that have arm talent, but that can throw it accurately at the same time, and you saw all of it on that in route.
Hand off from the shotgun. They get him stopped at the 26, but that'll be enough for this offense to go to work on 1st down. They'll ride the hot hand. Breaks into the open. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 43. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. Finding open areas. And the Wildcat is not working. They knock him down behind the line. Lost 1 on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Nice grab in traffic. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. The Razorbacks will line up to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll field the punt. Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down to the 24. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work. Find space on the right. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the 1st down.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49. The play action fake. Working on the right. It's a seam wide open. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead.
They are absolutely boat racing this team right now. We're not even at the 2nd quarter yet, and this offense has been up and down the field. They've taken a huge lead early. Everything they're dialing up, David, is working.
Yeah, so I'm going to flip this to the other side. I'm going to need my offense to score some points, and in a hurry. They got to figure it out, but they got to put a drive together, keep us off the field, score some points, and let us find some answers, because right now, defensively, we have none.
And the extra point was good. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Looks as if the returner will try and field this one. Not a whole lot of room to operate on that return as the coverage unit was there and ready. Off the play fake on first down to throw. He tries to take the top off. He's got it on the right. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move. Big chunk play to start this drive. Now they'll really try to take it to this defense. Off the play fake. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. What will they dial up on second, and a long way to go. Fires to the big fella.
Well, it's a nice job, too, of the quarterback after the play fake there, getting his eyes down the field. He had to get that to his tight end quickly, knowing he wasn't going to have a lot of space to run with after the catch.
He lobs one high down the left side. Snags it. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be first and goal for this offense.
You gotta love aggressive offenses. You get third down and short, a lot of defenses thinking run. They got fourth down in their back pocket. This offense is aggressive, takes the shot, makes the big play, goes from their side of the field to now set up first and goal.
And the Razorbacks are flying down the field. He's looking to throw. Trying to barrel in. They will score! Touchdown, Razorbacks!
And they cap off the drive with a touchdown, throwing the football. The last play, they got the explosive. They get right back to the line of scrimmage and dial up another one. Great work by the quarterback and his target being on the same page. These last two plays, throwing the football, man, it doesn't get any better than that.
Ready to try the point after. And after the extra point, they're now down 21-7. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Dynamite matchup this week, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. BYU has the lead right now, but this Lavelle Edwards Stadium crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. They are up by 7 over Navy.
To the air on first down.
We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. He'll pull it on the read. Did the work himself. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down. The Red Raiders will hustle to the line.
This is an offense that can move the sticks in a whole lot of different ways. Now you're seeing it on the option here. Great job by the quarterback. Reading the defense, there's nobody there taking him, so he puts his foot in the ground, he gets upfield, and he's got really nice elusiveness once he's out in the open field. He shows you that on that explosive play, picking up the first.
Here's the handoff. They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. Looking to throw for it. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there. And the Red Raiders will try to pin them back with the punt. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. And that one will bounce and roll out of bounds. Let's see exactly where they mark it. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. Quickly trailing by 2 touchdowns, down 21-7, and really important to get something out of this drive. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Looking for room. It's Turner. He is going nowhere, and this defense is manhandling this running game on the last couple of snaps. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. They boot it away. He'll field the punt and try to make a big play. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Almost everything has gone their way so far, up 21-7, and they have it back. He stopped at the 49 after gaining 10.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge gain? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
And that defense is there to guide him out of bounds after a short gain.
Great play by the cornerback. He was just way too physical at the point of attack. He beat his man trying to block him, and he tackled that receiver on the swing.
And this one will be stopped for no gain. The Red Raiders moving quickly to the line. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity. And the Red Raiders send out the punt unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Punt will bounce out of bounds, and they're going to spot it at the 25. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman. Well, after not getting a thing done on 1st down, it's 2nd and long from the 24. Back to pass. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down. The Razorbacks will bring the punt team onto the field. Here's the return. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. First snap of this drive will come from the 46. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Able to pick his way forward for a decent gain before the defense gets him down. They'll line up with trips to the right side on 2nd and 6. He'll keep it himself. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. The Red Raiders are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. He'll throw on 3rd down. Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
You know, we're only in the first half of this football game, and already this offense has had tons of success throwing the football. The defense has to disrupt his rhythm, and they finally do there, getting the sack. They've given up 3 TD passes. Let's see if they can continue with the pass rush moving forward.
And the Red Raiders will punt this one away. Fair catch is signaled for and made. They'll mark it at the 12, and they'll start in a bit of a hole. They'll try to put something together, backed up a bit, starting at their own 13. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Open space at the 25. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a 1st down at the 29. While we're only through one, these quarterbacks have been lighting up their stat line. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the 2nd. They've got a 1st down here to open the period. They're going to go right back to him on 1st down. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
Offensive players, when they got the ball in their hand, they're trying to make plays, right? Trying to make you miss. There's nothing better than closing that gap and sticking that head right in that guy's chest and causing a fumble.
Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. Oh, he's got some space. The freshman brought down after a really nice run there. The Red Raiders want to move quickly. Looking to throw on first down. It's complete to the right. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. And the Red Raiders can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to go up top. Bought a little time, lets it go. Finds his big tight end. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is.
Hold it.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. To the air on second down. Using the quick game. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it still on his feet. He is down at the 1. A terrific run after the throw and catch. He'll try to slam it in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And they knocked through the extra point, and they're up 28-7. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks.
And the defense makes a play, sacking him back at the 10.
And how about the true freshman? We've heard about this guy. We heard he's got a chance to be really, really good talking with coaches this week, and he gets his first sack. Listen, guys, I'm a pass rusher. Everybody remembers their first sack.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
You got to be impressed with this defense early in this game, guys. They've got a big lead because they are getting after the quarterback. They've already generated multiple sacks. They thought coming into this game they could take advantage of this offensive line, and that game plan is working to perfection.
And the Razorbacks will punt it away on 4th down. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Makes the catch around the 50. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Fires to the big fella. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. Gets it out quickly. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Offense threatening, 1st and 10 from the 31. Trying play action. Got him downfield. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Red Raiders trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Gonna look downfield again. They're working that left side. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. He's brought down at the 6, but the defense feeling the heat to make a stop here. Someone not clear on the snap count. It'll be a false start, and they'll move it back.
False start. Offense.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. 3rd and goal, where you separate the wheat from the chaff. They'll send the tight end in motion. Off play action. Unleashes to the end zone. Right through his hands. He had a touchdown and just didn't look the ball in. It'll be 4th down. They'll try to cap off this drive with a field goal. It's good. And that lead grows even bigger. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, week to week, you just never know, which is why we're here with an update. Washington is currently ahead in this one inside a jam-packed Husky Stadium, but the purple and gold have struggled to really pull away. They're up by 11 over Washington State. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about it.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Finds a little space. Makes the stop at the 32, but he picks up 10 on that play. They'll snap this one from the 32. It's 1st down. They're going to test the right side with this one. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Looking to fire. Finds us back in the middle. Snowed under by the defense. The Razorbacks come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. 3rd down play from the gun. Under fire. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36.
Well, you can see why this team thinks this kid has a real bright future. It's amazing. He's only a true freshman. He's not built like one, though, and you saw it on that last play. Trust me, that is the first of many sacks in this kid's collegiate career.
And the Razorbacks will call on their punt team. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. Complete to start this drive. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. Now on 2nd down. Running back searching for a hole. Finds his way for 3 out to the 33. And the Red Raiders really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. To the ground to try to move the chains. That defensive front just flat whipped them as they knock him down for a big loss. The Red Raiders will send out the punt unit. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Off play action on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Going to try to pop one on the screen. They make the tackle at the 36. Let's see if they bring out the punt team. The Razorbacks decide to punt it away. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. There he goes. They've got him down at the 40 after he ripped off 15 yards. Starting this drive like that is exactly what they'd hoped for. Now 1st and 10 from the 40. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really, really building trust with his offensive coordinator. First mistake. Hey, listen, put it behind you. You've had a great season so far, young man.
And let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. Hold it, finds his man on the left. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. He's going to throw deep right side. And it's an incomplete pass on the deep shot, but the flag is down. Let's check the call.
Hold it.
Well, when your quarterback has already been sacked 4 times, shouldn't be some big surprise if the O-line gets called for holding. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. He's looking downfield to throw. Finds a man in the middle. They're ripping off chunks of yardage. They get it to the 33. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the Razorbacks will have it 1st and 10. Looking for a crease. It's Turner. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at the 42.
How about this defense in this game so far? Already 5 sacks, and we're only in the 2nd quarter. I think if you're the offensive coordinator, you have got to start mixing up these play calls, moving the pocket, get your quarterback away from danger, because it's obvious. These offensive line, they cannot hold up, and they cannot get it done.
Fires to the tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup. They'll send out the kicker to try to salvage this drive. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. And he's got it counted all the way to 55. Never in doubt.
How about it? 50-plus, no problem. Big leg, nice accuracy. That's a big-time kick for this young man.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. To the ground with the back. Nice move to pick up yardage. And he broke 1 tackle on the way to a solid pickup there. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. And the Red Raiders with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on 1st down. Got his man down the middle. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the 1st down. The offense burns his 3rd and final timeout of the half. Going to swing it on 2nd down. He's got his man across the middle. Brought down at the 39 after a pickup of 10. It'll be a 1st down. Wants to throw on 1st down. Got his man quickly. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the 1st half. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, saves the precious seconds, but now they have to decide if they can make this long field goal or if they want to take another shot downfield. He boomed it through, a 50-yard field goal full leg. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. A first half that saw a little bit of everything there in Fayetteville. And we'd be remiss if we didn't start this halftime report by giving props to this superstar tight end. He's been almost, you know what, check that. He has been unguardable with that unusual blend of speed, size, hands, and route running. He is a pick-your-poison kind of player. And with that, let's hear another hog call and send it back to the guys in Razorback Stadium.
Set to kick this one away.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops.
Turning it on! Moves up to the 34-yard line, give him a 10-yard pickup. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. Power football with the run. Stuffed almost in his tracks, but strong enough to pick up 1 to the 35. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll leave it with him. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. And this offense just can't afford not to get the 1st down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. Fires to the tight end. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. The Razorbacks line up to punt it away. Wants to bring it back. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Right on the money. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15. They couldn't draw up a better way to start a drive, and now they've got it 1st and 10 from the 41. Unloads to the right. Makes a connection. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. Pulls and throws off the RPO. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They'll run play action. He's got it. He almost picked up the 1st down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. The Red Raiders come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Quickly complete. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. So here comes the field goal unit. They've been doing work today. They've already made a couple. The official says no good. And this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man. Just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. They hope to be able to cash in on this drive, David, after having to punt it last time.
Yeah, and I think this offense needs to start it with the 1st play. You need to be successful and productive on that 1st play, and it gets you in less predictable situations.
No doubt, too. Don't you just feel like there's a little bit more sense of urgency on this drive? It just feels like they've got to be able to put some points up on the board here.
They've got a good chunk of ground to cover on 3rd and long from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to the big tight end. Put it where only his man could get it and gave him enough room to get the foot down. And the Razorbacks have it with a 1st and 10. Making sure they have good balance, keeping it on the ground. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. Quarterback on the keeper. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Strong pass. pass rush gets to the quarterback, and they get him at the 46.
Well, they're trailing by a lot of points right now, and the problem is there's usually only one way to get back into it, and that means throwing the ball, and the defense knows it. And that's why they're pinning their ears back. They're dialing up blitzes. Guys are just rushing upfield, and they're finding it easier to get to the quarterback. They've got a few sacks already in this game. It's going to be even easier at this point because this offense has just dug themselves into such a big hole.
Punt is on its way. Let's see what he can do with it. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. You want to talk about taking the wind out of your sails. Drive the ball down the field and miss the field goal, David.
You know what? Don't leave it up to kickers. Execute better offensively. I think you move the ball nice. You got to keep that in mind. But Palmer, I think you got to stay aggressive and don't settle for field goals.
Yeah, because you got to know there's just no margin for error right now. You just have got to be able to execute at a higher level.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, he makes the play. It's intercepted. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Man, what a great break on the football. Nice job seeing it, squeezing. A lot of those defensive guys, man, they don't have great hands all the time, but you always remember your first interception. They'll always remember this moment.
And Arkansas ready to send out this offense. After a punt on their last possession, they are set up in plus territory this time.
And honestly, it wouldn't have mattered if they scored a touchdown their last possession. You've got to be able to turn the page and see this as a brand new opportunity to go get points.
Yeah, and your defense has set you up for the position to get points right away. Now, let's get this offense back rolling again, create some momentum, just get a few first downs, and I'm in scoring position.
He had to fight for a couple down to the 33. Now the play fake. Gets it out fast. Just across the 20 with a first down at the 19. The Razorbacks have taken it inside the 20. Wants to go up top on first down. The screen, he's got wheels. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. The give to the back. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. Here on 3rd down. The give to the tailback. Quick spin on the line. He rumbles all the way down to the 2-yard line. He gave a little bit of everything on that one. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Razorbacks trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Arkansas! Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt. First half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
Getting aggressive here and going for 2. He's looking to throw. Just a little off. Incomplete. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. On the move from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. He'll do it himself. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Win with the running game on 1st down, now back at it. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Got his man downfield. And he gets it up to the 36. It'll be a 1st down. New set of downs after the completion. Looking downfield on first down. Quick strike complete.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's third best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
And talk about spreading the ball around. Everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. One more period to go, and we'll see just how much fight they've got left in them. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Finds a soft spot in the middle. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Backed up now, here's second and long. Back to pass. Incomplete. And man, is he lucky to get that one back. Defense that close to an interception. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Using the quick game. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. And the Red Raiders will line up to punt it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today.
Dude, how about that boom? I mean, you talk about power. That dude just booted that thing halfway across the field, completely flipping the field position and getting it down inside the 10. That is a nice job by that punter.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Keep it on the ground. Had nowhere to go, couldn't get it out of the end zone. He'll take the safety.
Oh, and how about this defense? Understanding where they are in the field. They got a chance to put points on the board, and they do.
They'll get set for the free kick after the safety.
Set to kick this one away.
And some room to work. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out.
Offense will take over. 1st and 10.
Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
Oh, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Even if they don't convert, picking up a few would give them a decision to make on 4th down. It's 3rd and long from the 45. The Red Raiders will try to pin them back with the punt. Man, these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines. Not his best work. So, guys, we'll see this offense again. Oh, he's got a chance. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Wants to go up top. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure, taking a sack there.
Now 3rd and long, and trying to play catch-up in more ways than one after that earlier sack. From the gun, wants to pass. Caught. They bring him down right at the 45. Not enough to move the sticks, but maybe close enough to go for it here on 4th. The play-action fake. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down, and one that did not pay off. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. Rides the back and leaves it on the option. Got enough for the 1st, and he's still going. And he's brought down after a nice gain. With a 1st down, they'll snap it from the 32. Going to the ground. Breaks into the open.
It's a point in the game, I think, as a coaching staff where you really challenge your offensive line to go win the football game, right? We've got to lead late. We're going to run the football. And the defense and everybody in the stadium knows that's what's going to happen. Can we run the ball down their throats and impose our will? That's what this offense right now is trying to do.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Red Raiders are marching down the field. They'll give it to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Looking to fire. And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. Got his man. They wrestle him down at the 16-yard line. A third down stop. Now to see what they do on fourth down. And the field goal unit is on the field. And this one is perfect. And they'll push that lead out a little further. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Boys, expect the unexpected in college football, and for some, this update could fall under that category. Northern Illinois came away with the victory today, but not in dominant fashion. In fact, the folks in Husky Stadium had to sweat things out for much of the day. Could have been better, but certainly could have been worse. All that speculation all week, and now we know. But something tells me, fellas, we haven't heard the last of either of these teams.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. It's complete. Gets him on the ground at the 31, but a nice pickup of 15 yards there. First and 10. They're going to run it. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
And the D does it again. I feel like it's a repeat. We could play that over and over today. They've had a great game against the pass, against the run, limiting the big plays, and they do it again. Just watch them. Where they're supposed to be. They're physical. They don't give up a lot of tackles, a lot of yards after the tackle. Just a great performance by this D.
At this point of the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in cover.
He'll loft one deep down the left side. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there, and now it's fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's not afraid to go deep. Makes the grab. He's got a first down. Well, they just drained all of the suspense out of the fourth down conversion, moving the chains easily.
Hey, man, that was just perfect execution offensively. On a fourth down like that, if you're going to throw a completion, get the first and keep the drive alive, QB's got to be great with his eyes. He's got to throw it on time. His target has to be in the perfect place at the perfect time, and you got to be able to haul it in. They checked all the boxes on that fourth down.
They just changed the dynamic of this possession in a heartbeat, and now it's first and 10 from inside the red zone. Quarterback needs to make a better throw there. Incomplete. Working well behind the sticks on second down. They just keep firing. Got his man. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. Eighth play of the drive coming. It'll be a 3rd and 6. He's looking to pass. Trying to get rid of it.
And that's kind of how their day's gone, right? Like they haven't protected their guy up front, and that's why they haven't been explosive and scored a bunch of points, man. Position number 1 for every offense.
Touchdown, Razorbacks! Made the grab and took it on in for the score.
Man, find your weapons. Nice job by the quarterback. Find the running back out of the backfield. He catches it and does the rest. Walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. right down the middle. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he'll bring it back. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right. Oh, he found a space on the right. Touchdown, Red Raiders! And the pummeling has started. They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They have got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
He'll try to tack on one more. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinators. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. And he takes this from inside the 5. The Hogs send that offense back onto the field. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. Quick throw, but he's not going anywhere. The defense was all over him.
Brings up second down.
Wants to fire on second down. Throwing right. It's caught downfield. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
Hey, down in the fourth quarter, you better have a dude at the quarterback spot. They do, and they're going to trust him, and he's going to have to continue to deliver like this, making plays down the field, protecting the football, but we know he has the ability.
Brought down at the 32-yard line, picks up 15 yards on the play and an important first down.
Defense gives up the pretty big run. They get the first down, and listen, you got to reload quick now because this offense, they got their foot on the accelerator.
He works his way to the 23 before he goes out of bounds. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him.
That's a really nice game. It just would have been really nice to see this from this offense earlier. Now you're getting to the point where there's a couple of thought processes. Do I build momentum for next week? Do I try to get this offense, the ground game clicking, or do I throw the football every play and try to make this football game close?
That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Trying to find the end zone. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. They'll try to pass it in on 3rd and goal. It's broken up and almost intercepted in the end zone. It'll be 4th down. This offense believes you are given 4 downs for a reason. You've got to use all of them. 2 for 3 so far today. He's got the tight end. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on 4th down?
The result of the play is a turnover on downs.
They want that clock to run. Gets it past the marker. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down. Red pass, it's complete. And they pick up just a few on that completion. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. From the gun, the running back has it. Oh, he's got some space. Brought down at the 28, but it's a 10-yard gain. Handoff from the gun. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. 4 wide out set, 3 of them to the left on 2nd and 10. Back to pass. He's got him. Turns it on in midfield. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here.
Man, it's go time for this defense now. I mean, you're down by a couple scores, and they're still making big plays. You got to find a way to get a stop, create a turnover, switch the momentum to your side quickly.
Now this team has consecutive wins, and when you start expecting to find ways to win games and you expect that you will perform well enough to do so, that's really hard to stop.
It's a mindset, Reese. This team has it right now. You can tell their players trust each other. Big situations arise in games. They're looking at each other in the huddle on the sideline, expecting to make the play that's going to help them win games. This team incredibly mentally tough right now, David.
And you start to build that mental toughness when you start to string together positive weeks and you start to string together positive plays. Now you know you can do it. It's not, we talked about it in the offseason, oh, we want to do this. Now you're starting to execute it and put it together on the field.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.